Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Kaplan with Smart Women Inspired Lives, and we are on our second step for our SOS happiness plan. Our first step was learning how to manage stress. Our second step is overcoming overwhelm. Now, why do we get overwhelmed? Well, there's a few reasons. The first typically is that we get fearful. We get afraid that we can't handle something, or that we don't know all the information, or we're not smart enough to figure it out. So we get fearful or afraid. Second is we lack clarity. We don't understand what exactly needs to be done or exactly how to do it. So the lack of clarity kind of fogs up our brain a little bit. The third reason is we just don't like a task sometimes, and so we get overwhelmed because we put it off because we dislike it so much. So what do we do about this? Well, the first thing we want to do when we feel really overwhelmed is, and we think maybe we're nervous or fearful about the task, is to ask ourselves why. Why am I afraid of this? What about this task is overwhelming to me? Am I afraid I'll make a fool out of myself? Am I afraid I don't really understand? Keep asking yourself why and dig down. The asking why will give you some clarity as to why you're overwhelmed. And the overwhelm, of course, leads to a lot of stress. So get some clarity as well. Then ask yourself, so if I fail at this task or I don't do it well, so what? What's the worst that can happen? And really get yourself to worst case scenarios. And you might find that the worst case scenarios aren't actually that bad. So let's say I don't clean the house today or don't get the laundry done. So what? What will happen? The worst case scenario is usually something you can handle. The other thing when we get really overwhelmed is to think in terms of small tasks, breaking the overwhelm into small, manageable tasks. Then if we don't like the task, it's smaller at least to get us through it a little bit easier. The key is to not sit in overwhelm. Don't sit in it. If you can't figure out why you're overwhelmed, step away for a while, clear your head, do some of the stress management things that we talked about, and then come back to it. Don't force yourself into it if you feel really overwhelmed. There's a reason for it. You need to figure that out first, then you won't feel so overwhelmed. So trust yourself that you will figure it out, and that is how we overcome overwhelm. Next, we're going to talk about your story and how your story might actually be hurting you, not helping you, and keeping you in a space of stress and overwhelm. Thanks so much.